Now, this is really crucial because your brushes are really going to set you up for success. So we do make long, wide brushes, and we do make short, wide brushes. So in a foil, like so, obviously, this is way too wide for me to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and utilize my tools and switch to the long, narrow brush. So coming through, Formula A. I'm gonna apply just a little bit more. And then my second formula, Formula B, which is what color? Orange. Leave a little bit of space. And what do I want to do before I go ahead and blur these two together?
Clean your brush.
Perfect. Clean my brush. Oh, actually, what do I do?
What did you just do? Go wrong direction.
We are in a safe environment, but I caught myself, right? So what type of action are we going to, what kind of blur action are we doing with vertical application? Perfect. So horizontal. Now, you can blur this in many different ways. You can swirl. Swirling is nice. But ideally, we're doing the pastel type of blur, and we are blurring these two lines with a horizontal application. So as you can see, the color moves from left to right, and then from right to left.
What kind of effect does the swirl give as opposed to this basic brushing?
Well, let's see. Let's apply one down here, right underneath it. Side by side.
He's stepping outside the box.
So again, you know, the possibilities are endless when it comes to blurring and utilizing these tools, and that's the best part about Redken and our company. We have all the tools for you guys to use, and again, they're free to use, so you know, use them and get really creative with it. So we're gonna move on to the last one, the last blur technique, and this is the Lux blurs. This is the checkerboard one. This can be a little tricky depending on how you're blurring and what colors you're using, because you can mess up your checkerboard pattern depending on if you're using a darker color or a lighter color. So you always want to move the darker color into the lighter category. So I'll show that right up here. So I'm going to be utilizing my long, narrow brush. So Formula A, which is going to be my red, I'm going to apply it right here. Again, you want to utilize and have a little bit of space in between these. I'm going to jump over, like a basic, if you're looking at a checkerboard, you know, game set, it's going to obviously jump down, and it's going to be the opposite side of what you're working with. So utilize the same Formula A, red, in that same area. Making sure I don't drag this way too down because I need that Formula B to be on the very bottom. Jump another section down for the opposite of my section, Formula A. And now I'm gonna go ahead and jump to Formula B. Formula B, just fill in the gaps just like a regular checkerboard pattern actually would. Again, use a little bit of space in between. And then last section. Super, super crucial. What am I gonna do before I blur all these together? My brush. Thank you very much. All right, so like I was saying before, you don't want to mess up what you have going on. So you kind of want to have a map, a road map before you start getting into this. So you want, I would say, definitely blur your darker color into your lighter category. Same thing with here, same thing with here. Does that kind of make sense?
So what do we do? We blur where?
Dark to light. Perfect. So I'm going to blur my red into my orange. And again, it's really up to you. Swirl, you know, get really creative with it. Super important because we're going to drag color through these next sections. So again, I'm going to do what to my brush? White well. Exactly. Now I'm going to go ahead and move the red into obviously the orange to the very bottom. I think that's super crucial that we always forget. We work really, really fast at times, and you know, we're always in a hurry. And again, this is a service, you know, this is definitely a time-consuming service to where, you know, she feels like, you know, she's getting a service and not just, I'm gonna go in here and just doodle on her hair, you know what I mean? So, red into the orange, wipe that off, red into the orange. As you can see, what's happening with my moving the red into the orange. It's
You're
drying,
making a
right?
red orange.
Huh?
You're making a red orange.
Same thing, move this into the orange segment. Formula A into Formula B. Wipe this off again. And then moving forward. But again, you can see that this is definitely drying out. So again, what do I need to do to make sure my application is not spotty? Saturate it, make sure it's really saturated so that way you can get the color to shine and pop. And my last section, Formula A into Formula B. And again, it's that beautiful marriage of all this working together to create just a beautiful, beautiful metallic blur. Like Lux blur, like you saw with the blue and the purple, right? Beautiful? Interesting?
Yes.
Yep.
Sweet. I also like to do another hot tip too. I also use these for root retouches too. So after a retouch, you need to utilize this in a different way. So I put my retouch on. Typically with the retouch, you know, you're trying to match up another color against that color. This is a great marriage to go through and just blur right into that existing color, just to give a nice transition.
Great, what's it?
Right? Sweet.
So what did you guys just learn?